Hey folks, Hakluke here again. Today we're going to be going through a bunch of resources that are really going to be super useful for anyone who is learning to hack or wanting to start their bug bounty journey or start doing pen testing or anything like that. These resources are just going to set you up with the right knowledge to start. And when you're first starting, it's not so easy to know which resources are good and which are bad. I mean, anyone can do a Google search like how to hack, but the resources that you come across are not necessarily going to be high quality. The information may be out of date. It might be that the information you receive is just totally wrong. There are a whole heap of things that can go wrong, but there's so many resources that are going to be listed in this video. So this is going to set you up really nicely. Now, before we start, I want to mention that this video is actually linked to a blog post. So if you want to find some links or I pronounce something and you're not sure how it's spelled or anything, it will all be in the blog post. On that note, I have some very exciting news for this channel, and that is that the channel is now being sponsored, or at least the next few videos are being sponsored. So it's quite difficult to find a sponsor that I actually feel comfortable recommending to my viewers, but I feel as though I've found a great sponsor for this video and I feel totally comfortable recommending them, and that is Detectify. Detectify is a vulnerability scanner, but it's better than your average vulnerability scanner because the payloads that they are using are crowdsourced from some incredible hackers around the world, as well as the Detectify staff. Their payload-based testing finds undocumented security vulnerabilities and can even scan behind authentication, which is ideal. Obviously, if you have an application that has authentication, you want to be looking behind that authentication as well. And a lot of application scanners don't do that very well. So it will find OWASP top 10 stuff. It will find common misconfigurations in cores, S3 buckets, encryption implementations, and so much more. Detectify puts hacker knowledge into the hands of engineers to secure their applications. What do you think it would find on your applications? If you want to find out, you can start a 2-week free trial at www.detectify.com/Hakluke. And their slogan is, "Go hack yourself." All right, we're going to dive straight into some resources that you might want to look at. So the first thing to note is that this is not the first time someone has sat down and made a list of resources that are good for hackers or for beginner hackers. So there are a lot of other lists out there, and we're actually going to go through those lists, and I'm going to recommend a few that I know are really good. The list that we're going to go through is pretty long, so don't be overwhelmed. You don't need to watch every single piece of content and every single link. And even if you tried to do that, you would have a very hard time getting through it all. I certainly haven't consumed it all. I haven't done all of the labs that I'm going to recommend. I haven't read every blog that I recommend. I just know that they're good, either because I've done part of it or just because, you know, they have a really good reputation in the industry. So as James Clear would put it, there's a quote from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than with your current results. So this is an ongoing journey, and if you're just starting out and you're starting to consume these resources and you're just overwhelmed, don't worry about it. All that matters is that you're improving a little bit every day and just chipping away at it. All right, the first thing that we're going to get into is the list of lists. And what I mean by that is it's a list. We're going to go through some other lists that actually already exist of different resources for hacking and for bug bounties and things like that. So we'll switch over to a browser. I'm using the Brave browser today. I actually don't usually use it, but I wanted to use a browser that doesn't have my kind of history and bookmarks and things in here because it's being put on a video, obviously. So this is a GitHub repository that was set up by Nahamsec. And if you don't know Nahamsec, we're going to talk about him more later, but he is a prolific bug bounty hunter and content creator in that space. And he makes a lot of different content. But as part of that, he's teamed up with a couple of other people to build this repository. And it's called, aptly, Resources for Beginner Bug Bounty Hunters. But you know what? The resources in here are for more than just bug bounty hunting. They'll be for anyone who wants to learn about hacking. So there's a bit of information here. He lists his own resources. So he has a Udemy course for bug bounty hunting, which I've actually bought, but I'm yet to go through it. But maybe I'll do a video about that as well. He does, as part of the course, he's got some labs. He's got a YouTube channel and a Twitch. He does streams every Sunday US time. And then he's gone and split up a bunch of resources into different categories here. So say you want to learn about mobile hacking. You'd obviously choose the mobile hacking section. And then he's got a bunch of different resources listed here and tools as well. So I think this is a really great repository, and you won't go wrong if you start consuming this content. And yeah, highly recommended. The next resource on the list is actually, you may have heard of someone called Codingo, and he has set up on his website a search bar. So if you go to codingo.com/search, then you'll be able to type anything into this search bar. And what it's actually doing is searching a whole bunch of different content creators' content, and it's kind of collating it into a single list. So it'll be looking at all of the popular cybersecurity YouTube channels and blogs and everything. And then you can search by keyword, and it will just come up here. So if you're looking to learn about XSS, for example, you could just come to this website, search XSS, and then start binging all of these XSS videos, right? Or say you want to look for videos about SSRF, then you can just look that up here. It looks like this is indexed CSRF, but that's okay. You can see a bunch of SSRF videos here that'll be super useful to look at. All right, another excellent list of resources. By the way, thanks Codingo for setting that up. It's really, really helpful, I think, for a lot of people. So this is by someone called SockMonkey, and they've basically set up this kind of wiki Gitbook thing, and it's a really well organized and well curated repository of cybersecurity resources. So it's put into a bunch of different categories. Again, you can see, you can look at, red team stuff. It will go through all kinds of different exploitation techniques, C2 frameworks, lateral movement, all that kind of stuff. They've got a section on web app hacking, which is kind of, what I'm most passionate about. And it goes through, it's got a list of different resources that you could read to get better at web app hacking. And the resources that are listed here, by the way, are super, what's the word? They're like the definitive resources. So you can't go wrong reading this stuff. Like OWASP's Web Security Testing Guide is really quite a definitive resource for web app testing. It might be a bit of a dry read, but you will get a lot out of it if you kind of get all the way through it. And then this is a little bit of a different one, but this one is called Infosec Write-ups, and it's basically a bunch of different blog posts that come in from a whole bunch of different people. I think it's actually a Medium publication. So basically people who write Medium blogs can sign up to different publications, and any blog they publish through Medium, they can choose to publish it through a publication. And that's exactly what this is, I think. And it's just got a whole bunch of different write-ups on a whole bunch of different things. But, just looking at this, it looks like there's a lot of HackTheBox write-ups. There's one here on how to bypass the credential manager in Windows. That looks pretty cool. This is a bug bounty report write-up, one for Instagram, one for Google. But if you have a look through here, there's going to be loads and loads of value that you can get just by looking at other people's bug write-ups. They also have what looks like a Discord server that you could join. But we're going to go through a bunch of Discord servers later. All right, so that's pretty much it for the list of lists. I know I've probably missed some stuff along the way, but unfortunately I can't cover absolutely everything. But if you know of any lists of resources for beginner hackers, go ahead and put that in the comments, and someone else can kind of get some advantage out of that as well. All right, we're going to start on looking at labs now. So basically, when we're talking about labs, we're talking about practice environments that are set up to kind of mimic real world kind of situations. So we might have an Active Directory lab, which is like a few different machines that have been set up to mimic like a Windows network environment. And then our goal is to hack them or to practice whatever we need to do on those. So yeah, there's a lot of different labs that are available, and they are really good. Like, there are so many great resources for practicing hacking without breaking the law now, which is really, really cool. The first one that I'm going to recommend, I've actually used this myself when I was starting out with hacking, and that is Pentester Lab. So Pentester Lab is by a really awesome hacker called Sniff, who I believe lives in Australia now. And he's put together literally just a whole massive list of labs that you can use to practice all different types of skills, including exploiting current CVEs, practicing, OWASP top 10 type bugs, discovering framework misconfigurations, all different kinds of things. Now there's two different tiers of memberships. There is free membership and there is a paid membership. So the free membership, you can still basically, you can download some activities, some of the labs as an ISO, and then you just boot them up in like VirtualBox or whatever virtualization software you use. And it's totally free. So yeah, you can just like practice on these labs yourself. But you also don't get any guide on like how to exploit the bugs. You literally just get the labs. However, there's also a pro membership, and if you buy the pro membership, then all of the exercises, all of the labs are hosted for you. So you don't have to download any ISO and set up a virtual machine and everything. They're all hosted probably in containers, and you can just kind of do it online without setting anything up, just touch and go. And along with the labs, you get a little course. So you can see, I can't see it right now because I don't have a Pentester. I'm not logged into my PentesterLab account. But normally you see a little course which will give you some information about the lab, and in general, maybe it'll link you to some further reading, and it will give you some idea of like how to complete the lab. But this is a really great way to learn, right? Because it's totally hands-on. You're not just reading about theoretical things in a book. You're actually actively exploiting something and learning really practically how it's done. So I really love PentesterLab, and I've recommended it a lot of times before as well in other content that I've either made myself or been involved with. The next labs we're going to go through are the Portswigger Labs. And if you just Google Portswigger Labs, you'll get there. But otherwise, it's portswigger.net/web-security/all-labs. And they just have all of these awesome free labs just listed on this page. You can see they've got SQL injection ones, cross-site scripting, CSRF, cross-site request forgery, clickjacking, DOM-based XSS and other types of DOM-based issues, cause misconfigurations, external entity injections, all web stuff. So when you click on one of the labs, it gives you a little primer about what the lab will be about. It says, this lab is vulnerable to server-side template injection due to the unsafe construction of an ERB template. To solve the lab, review the ERB documentation to find out how to execute arbitrary code, then delete the morale.txt file from Carlos's home directory. And of course, you can access the lab, but you need to have an account. So good, these labs, and really awesome for just, learning. If you go through all of these, you'll have a really good basis in, basic web app vulnerabilities. So definitely worth a look. The next labs that we're going to look at are TryHackMe. So I've heard a lot of people recommending this recently, and I had a look into the platform before I read this blog post and made this video, and it looks really awesome. So it's like this gamified platform basically that is set up to be really practical. So really practical knowledge, lots of labs, and you can basically compete against other people. So it's kind of like this game competition type thing, but also it is very instructional, very beginner friendly, and they have all kinds of different kind of learning environments. So you can see here under compete, they've got King of the Hill. So you attack and defend these servers, and then they've got leaderboards, which is pretty cool. So if you're the competitive type, you can definitely come onto these leaderboards by completing all the exercises and competing in the different competitions. And it's pretty cool, right? It kind of reminds me of a bug bounty platform, except it's more for education. And then they've got different networks, different lab environments that you can go into, which teach you different things. So there's Throwback here. The ones I can see right now are Throwback, which obviously runs you through an Active Directory environment, which is super useful. If you want to be a penetration tester, you will likely at some point find yourself on what we call an internal engagement. So you'll basically be plonked into the network, the internal network of a company, and you kind of need to assess their security posture. And typically, like, what you're trying to do is gain domain administrator privileges so that you can, read people's emails, do pretty much anything on that network. And this will teach you how to do that. It looks like it goes through a bunch of different methods, and it looks pretty awesome. I haven't done it myself, but I would definitely give it a go. And then there's this other network here called Wreath, which looks like it teaches network pivoting, which is a super underrated skill. You do a little bit of it if you've done OSCP. You have to do a little bit of network pivoting in the labs, but you actually don't need to, because you can just do the OSCP exam without doing any labs and still pass. So if you want to learn pivoting, this is probably a good way to do it. Yeah, there's lots of different techniques involved there. Anyway, there's also the teaching education section, which looks really cool if you're looking to teach people about hacking, right? It looks like they basically kind of try and integrate themselves into different courses for teaching people about application security and network security and things like that. So looks really cool. Awesome. TryHackMe. The next one I'm going to cover is one that I got really into actually when I was just starting out hacking, and you may have guessed what it is already. HackTheBox. Now, HackTheBox is probably best known for being not so much an educational platform, more like a CTF platform. And that's because I think when they first started out, they only did like competition CTF boxes. And basically the way it works is you log in and you connect to their VPN, And then once you're on their VPN, you have access to these, like, I think it's 20 active boxes. They call them active boxes. And those boxes are the current live competition boxes. And your goal is to get root access on them. And when you get root access, you get a flag and you get some points and things like that. Now, the thing about that is you're not allowed to publish write-ups on active boxes. And if you do that, very frowned upon. But once boxes are retired, you can also access those retired boxes, and there'll be write-ups everywhere online for them, because once they're retired, you can publish write-ups. And you can only access those retired boxes if you pay for a membership, right? But that's kind of what HackTheBox was when I was using HackTheBox. But now it's a whole lot more, and they've got a lot more kind of educational material on here. I won't sign in to show you, but you can get kind of a glimpse of their platform just from the screenshots here. They've got a bunch of different, I can't remember what they call them, but they're basically labs where you go through and they'll teach you about all different kinds of things. So there might be a web application lab that will teach you about cross-site scripting and SQL injection and things like that. There might be another lab that's for, steganography or something like that. So you learn a whole bunch of different things going through those. And then they also have these, I'm blanking on what they call them as well. Is it Pro Labs? I think it might be the Pro Labs or the Academy. But yeah, basically it's more of a structured course where you can, pick your what you want to learn, and you go all the way through the course and you learn, and it's actively teaching you instead of just like kind of giving you a box to hack and throwing you in the deep end, which is really cool. And that pretty much sums it up. But this is really addictive. HackTheBox is really addictive. What will happen is you'll sign in and you'll start hacking something, and then you'll be like, it's like a puzzle, and you kind of feel like you have to solve it. But people get really into this, and they spend 40 hours a week or more hacking these boxes. And they also have a leaderboard. So you kind of level up into these different tiers and everything. It's very strongly gamified. So yeah, highly recommend this. In terms of, learning how to hack stuff for bug bounties or pen testing, you probably, you'll learn stuff by doing the CTFs for sure, but you probably will get more out of doing the courses that they offer. But the CTF stuff, you'll learn different things for it. You'll learn more about, types of encryption and binary exploitation and things like that, stuff that doesn't come up all that much in pen test typically. All right, so that's HackTheBox. And the next one we're going to cover is one called Kontra with a K. And it's at application.security. And I haven't used this, but it got recommended to me a bunch of times. And it's mostly aimed at developers, not so much people who want to learn to hack. It's more aimed at developers who, develop applications and should probably be aware of this kind of hacking of their applications. So they have a few different demos that you can check out, free exercises. So we can have a quick look, just a quick run through here. So TikTok cross-site scripting, let's have a look. You'll get a really good idea of what they do just from this demo, but it's really story-based mode that they go through. So they give you a full background on the story. Social media platforms have become a primary means for electoral campaigns to communicate with citizens. However, in a post-Cambridge Analytica world, the pressure for social media companies to ensure their platforms aren't open to abuse remains a significant challenge. I'll just zoom in so that you guys can see it as well. And then it basically says TikTok was vulnerable. There was some research that happened that meant that motivated threat actors would be able to gain an understanding of or manipulate the political adversaries' ad campaigns. So pretty serious. But then they take you through this this whole thing where they've set up this this website called Live Mail, and you kind of go to it in this like fake browser, and you read this email, and you know, you figure out that the website's able to be hacked, and then you find a cross-site scripting vulnerability in here, and you kind of exploit it to start a phishing campaign. Like, it takes you through this whole storyline, which is really cool, because I think a lot of the time when you're learning about vulnerabilities, it's hard to put them into context of like what actually happens in the real world to exploit these kind of vulnerabilities. And yeah, this is really cool for that. Yeah, I guess my only issue with it is that it guides you and handholds you so heavily that I think you would come out of it and you would kind of understand the concept more, but it doesn't really give you the skills to be able to go and hack a real live world application, because literally, like, you're getting payloads and you can just click copy and then paste it in, and then, you know, and then you click next, and then you click copy. This is copying an XSS payload, and then you paste it in and push enter. Like, you can get through the whole course without really knowing what you're doing. But yeah, if you really focus on it and you really kind of like put effort into understanding it, then it'll be really good. And also for developers, I think it's really good, because it kind of, yeah, I just feel like it's laid out in a way that a developer would get a lot of value out of, and that's the purpose of it. So yeah. Next up, there is Hacker 101. Now, this is an online training platform for web security stuff, and it was created, as you can see from the branding, it was created by the bug bounty platform HackerOne. It includes a bunch of different CTF challenges that are inspired by real-world vulnerabilities, and also a series of video tutorials about all different elements of web hacking. So this is the website, hacker101.com. You can have a look at the CTF here, or you can check out the video lessons here. We'll have a look at both. So first, the CTF. You can see they've actually set up a full application for it. And you can see like the instructions for starting to play. I won't go through it right now, but really awesome resource. You'll learn a lot from doing the CTF. And I'm pretty sure that you also get private invites when you complete it, which is super cool. And then they also have this video series. So yeah, they've got a bunch of different videos that teach you all different aspects of web hacking, web application hacking, which is super cool. They've got a newbies playlist, a newcomers playlist. And yeah, it will teach you everything like about writing reports. It will teach you like about what HTTP is, which is what kind of the protocol that web applications use. So it's super important to understand that kind of stuff. And it goes all the way up to way more advanced topics as well, which is really cool. So, some people this was their introduction to hacking, and now they're full-on bug bounty hunters. Like STÖK talks about this resource a lot, and he is like a bug bounty hunter now, so he learned a lot of the stuff just by watching these videos over and over again. I've heard him say that. So yeah, really cool. Another one is Vulnhub. I don't know really how active this is now, but when I was doing my OSCP, this came up a lot because it's just got a lot of different activities that you can do. And how it works is you can submit a machine. It's like you submit a virtual machine basically, and then other people can download that machine and hack it. And the goal is always to find the flag. If it's a Linux system, then your goal would generally be to get root access, and then you'll be able to read a flag. And getting the flag is the name of the game. So yeah, Vulnhub's really cool. The only thing is it's not hosted, so it does take a little bit of extra setup, but because anyone from the community can submit a machine, they tend to be super varied. So you get like this really wide variety of knowledge if you sit down and do all of these Vulnhub boxes. Cool. And that's about all the labs we're going to cover today. I'm sure I've missed some again, but yeah, that's okay. If there's any more that you really like and you wish they were on the list, then feel free to comment them in the comments. All right, so we're going to go through some YouTube channels now. I would recommend, if you're someone who watches YouTube videos, then just go through all of these YouTube channels and subscribe to them all. I'm subscribed to them all, and the videos are great, and I learned so much from them. The first one I'm going to recommend is John Hammond. Really, really popular cybersecurity YouTuber. He does all kinds of cool stuff. He goes through like new CVEs. He kind of gives different sort of tutorials, but his tutorials are more in the style of like, he will be doing something and you kind of like look over his shoulder and watch what he's doing, and you pick up a lot that way. It's kind of like if you want to learn another language and you just move to that country and no one else speaks your language, no one else speaks English or whatever your language is, then you're gonna pick it up pretty quick. I find it's kind of similar with John Hammond. He kind of like has this vibe where you sort of like learn along the way, which I actually really learn quite well that way. And he's got a bunch of entertaining videos as well. Like he's doing this dark web documentary, which I haven't looked at yet, but it looks super interesting. I might sit down and watch all these videos later on. And he also does a bunch of interviews with, cybersecurity recruiters, CTF developers, all kinds of things. So that could be really interesting to you. He does lots of CTFs and CTF write-ups, like heaps and heaps of them. He's got Wargame write-ups. So Wargame is this, actually I didn't include that, but I probably should. There's a website called OverTheWire. And they've got all of these different online labs as well. So they give them names, but they have different ones for different things. So there'll be like a binary exploitation, war game, and things like that. So another really great resource talking about labs. Anyway, back to YouTube channels. So yeah, John Hammond, awesome. Definitely check John Hammond out. Next we have, I told you we'd be talking about this person more than once. We have Nahamsec. So Nahamsecs are also on Twitch. I'm pretty sure you can just go twitch.tv/Nahamsec. Yeah, so this is his Twitch channel if it loads. And he streams on here every Sunday, US time. And the streams usually have a guest. So he often does like a bunch of recon at the start, and you can kind of look over his shoulder and watch how he's doing reconnaissance on any particular target. And then he'll have a guest come on and he'll interview them about, how they got started in their bug bounty journey, or hacking journey or whatever. And sometimes get them to like demonstrate tools or techniques. Really, really, really awesome. I often just put Nahamsec interviews on in my ears while I'm like going for a walk or something, or I just leave them on the TV at home, and I get heaps out of it. It's really cool. But he also has a YouTube channel, and typically, like most of the videos on his YouTube channel are the interviews, so the ones that he does on Twitch. but they tend to be more condensed. So I don't think he puts up his whole live recon. He usually just puts up the interviews. And also he's got a bunch of videos here, all of the talks from Nahamcon 2020, because he puts on I think he's done it twice now, puts on a security conference, a virtual security conference called Nahamcon. And yeah, there's a lot of content here because they're Twitch streams, they tend to be like really long. Some of these are well over an hour long, and super practical, because he's got a knack for asking the right questions to the hunters that he's interviewing. Sorry. And then next YouTube channel, if you haven't found this one already, I don't know how you managed to find my YouTube channel without finding this one. This is STÖK. STÖK is a awesome hacker, Swedish, and he makes a video every Thursday. He calls it Bug Bounty Thursdays, where he basically goes through the latest news. If people release good new tools or blogs or whatever, then they tend to make it into Bug Bounty Thursdays. And then he also documents a bunch of the live hacking events that happen in bug bounties. So they might have a hacking event, hacking some big company, and they all go to Bali. So he'll kind of document the whole process of flying there, staying in the hotel, bugs that get found, all this different stuff. It's really, really cool. And he has a bunch of tutorials as well, either that he's done himself or that he's interviewed other people doing. He's got a really popular video here on just how to get started in bug bounties, 9 pro tips. So yeah, super helpful, awesome guy, very fashionable. People just love him, and his slogan is hack's gonna hack, creator's gonna create, good vibes only, or something like that. So that gives you an idea of the kind of awesome human that he is. The next YouTube channel that we're going to look at is Farah. Now, Farah Hawa is another awesome bug bounty hunter, and I really love this channel because she just has a knack for taking these really complex topics and just kind of like condensing them down into like really understandable format. So like, she's a great teacher, and I really love that. So she's got a bunch of different uploads, obviously on all kinds of different topics. I think this is the most recent one 2 weeks ago, and it's about H2C smuggling, which is like this systemic HTTP2 vulnerability that is just going to be huge. Like, a lot of different companies are going to be vulnerable to that, I think. And yeah, she just explains it really, really well, even though it's quite a complex topic. So yeah, definitely check this out. She's also working for BugCrowd now as a triager. So she's got some pretty in-depth knowledge of, the triage process at BugCrowd at least, which is pretty valuable, especially if you're watching videos that she writes about how to get your report triage faster, or, like just knowing about the triage process in general can be super helpful if you're getting into bug bounties. All right, next YouTube channel we're going to look at is Codingo. Fairly new in the way of YouTube channels, fairly new, but I've worked with Codingo a lot, and he is awesome. He knows a lot of stuff about hacking and bug bounties. He also works for BugCrowd. I'm not sure on his exact title there now. It blanks me, but I used to work under him at BugCrowd actually. And so yeah, he's got super in-depth knowledge about, again, the triage process, bug bounties in general, and whatever. And we were both collaborating with each other a lot on bug bounties before we started working for BugCrowd. And yeah, we were both like top 100 in both HackerOne and BugCrowd for a while. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, obviously, he's got a bunch of videos here on heaps different things. Should you do bug bounties full time? Really good video. stuff about recon, imposter syndrome, authorization vulnerabilities, different OSINT techniques like the Rapid7 datasets, all different stuff. So yeah, definitely check him out. Now, I couldn't do a section on cybersecurity YouTube videos without covering the LiveOverflow. Definitely one of the OG cybersecurity YouTubers. He's got a whopping 654,000 subscribers, which is just like a crazy amount for cybersecurity. And he's made over 300 videos over years and years and years. And pretty much anything you want to know, he's probably done a video about it. But he has a real lilt towards like CTFs, like different CTF challenges. He asks some kind of really common questions like, do you need to be able to code to hack? In this video here, but all different kinds of things. He also does some interviews sometimes when people get exceptional bounties or they manage to do some crazy thing. He does reverse engineering stuff. He looks into, he's got some tutorial things like this one is about how Docker works. Just like so many different things. Obviously he's done so many videos that, you know, they're going to be naturally very dynamic. He also explains things very well, and he's got a lot of kind of opinions and views about hacking in general that he's obviously thought a lot about. And, you know, it's really kind of eye-opening just to hear how he talks about hacking and what he thinks hacking is and things like that. All right, another awesome channel is this one, PwnFunction, which is actually, you know, like, I think it's a fairly new channel. So 2 years old. But what I mean by new is there's not many videos here, right? But they've got 80,000, almost 80,000 subscribers, which is really cool. And the reason that they've amassed so many subscribers is because these videos are excellent explainer videos. And that's pretty much what they do, explainer videos. So you can see that this is cool, like, you know, animated theme to them all. And the explanations that they go through are very, very cool. And yeah, you get the idea just from looking at this, how the videos kind of go. But yeah, super recommended for learning the topics that they've covered already. And subscribe to them, because when they make new videos, you'll get a notification, which is awesome. Next one I'm going to cover is Ippsec. Now, if you've ever done HackTheBox, chances are you've also watched Ippsec. This YouTuber is especially known for making loads and loads and loads of HackTheBox walkthroughs for retired boxes. So yeah, that's pretty much all they do, but they do a couple of other things as well. But you know, this is another one of those videos where you just feel like you're watching over the shoulder of a pro when they're doing their thing, and you'll get a lot out of watching that. So that's Ippsec, very well known, especially in the HackerBox community. Next YouTube channel is InsiderPhD, aka Katie Paxton here. And this is another really great channel to look at for basically, you know, starting your journey. There's a lot of explainers on bugs here. There's a lot of advice about, you know, starting your bug bounty journey, finding bugs and things like that. Katie is an incredible human, and definitely worth subscribing to as well. She doesn't just stop at, you know, technical videos. She also has some great videos about how to take notes, which is like one of those boring things that is actually really important when you're doing hacking stuff. It's really important that, you know, you're keeping tabs on stuff that you're finding or things that look weird. But she's got a whole, like, she's super organized in that way. She's got like all these great systems set up for you know, keeping track of things. And her platform of choice for that is an app called Obsidian. So you can see these videos here, how to take notes, Obsidian for bug bounty. Really, really cool. Anyway, that's Katie, or InsiderPhD, and she's also working for BugCrowd now, so she'll be able to give some insight into those things. The next one is the Cyber Mentor. Now, the Cyber Mentor is best known for releasing some very popular, you know, pen testing courses, originally on Udemy. But now the Cyber Mentor runs his own academy, which is called the TCM Security Academy. And he also makes free YouTube videos that are really cool about all kinds of different things. Like you can see here, 4 days ago, he made a video about Print Nightmare, the new Windows exploit. So pretty cool. And he's made videos for years. There's a lot of different stuff on there. A lot of kind of pivotal videos like, you know, how to be an ethical hacker in 2021. Watching videos like that when you're starting out can give you a really good, you know, general idea of the things that you need to do, take next steps and things like that. He talks a lot about different certifications that are useful. Yeah, lots of different stuff. In recent times, he, because he's become more entrepreneurial, started his own company and business and things, he started to make some content about that too. So if you're interested in, you know, starting your own company one day, or managing your money, or, you know, coming up with different ideas to sell yourself instead of through a job, then you might be interested in that side of his content as well. And of course, I can also recommend myself. So I make videos about different bug bounties, getting started with hacking, career stuff, mindset stuff, all of the above. So if you're interested in that, click subscribe below this video. And yeah, nice to have you here. Okay, the next thing we're going to go through, that's enough YouTube channels. I know I've missed a lot. I'm really sorry to people that I haven't gotten to. But if there's one that you think is missing, then link it below. And I'd encourage people too to look through the comments in this video, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of comments, and you'll find some great stuff there that I've missed. You'll find great YouTubers to follow, great blogs, great Twitter accounts, and things like that. Speaking of Twitter accounts, I mean, I don't want to go through every single Twitter account that I follow, or go through a massive list, because I'm going to miss people for a start, but also I can't go through what they talk about really, because it's just a social media platform. So at any given day, any of these hackers may be talking about different things, but following these accounts, in the long run, you will get to see kind of different tips and tricks that they're putting out, different kind of research blogs and things like that they're putting out, and you'll just learn a lot about how they work in general. So if you want to see those Twitter accounts, best way to do it is to go to the blog post that is linked below, but I'll also leave a list of Twitter accounts in the YouTube description. There are a bunch of them. Again, I've missed so many, but these are just ones that were top of mind for me, and there's probably like, I don't know, just counting them, maybe like 20, 30 of them, something like that. All right, the next thing we're going to go through is blogs and write-ups. So a lot of people learn better reading blogs and write-ups than watching videos or you know, doing labs and things. I think like probably everyone would learn better just with a combination of that, but you'll definitely get some inspiration from these resources. So here we go. First one we're going to look at is Hackerone Hacktivity. Now, this is if you're a bug bounty hunter, but also if you want to be a pen tester and kind of learn what people are finding in the real world, this is invaluable, right? It's got an unlimited stream of disclosed vulnerabilities on the HackerOne platform, and you can see them right now. So, for example, we can see here there's a $25,000 bug on Snapchat that got disclosed 10 days ago. And it was an exposed Kubernetes API that ended up with exposed credentials, remote command execution. So if you click on it, you can actually see a lot of the time, you can see a bunch of the write-up. So you can see that Snapchat provides a summary of the bug. You can see how much it paid, in this case, 25 grand, which is so good. And you can't read the comments. But you know that what is visible on different bugs can sometimes vary. Let's try and have a look at another one. GitHub access token exposure. This is one I actually covered in my last video on this YouTube channel. Someone got $50,000, or Gusto got $50,000 for finding a personal access token on GitHub, for GitHub, sorry. And yeah, they got access to a bunch of private Shopify repositories, which is crazy. But if you want to know more about this bug, watch my previous video. Basically, I'm just saying HackerOne Hacktivity is a treasure trove of inspiring ideas for your hacking and bug bounty write-ups. Now, Bugcrowd has a similar thing, and we'll have a look at it, called CrowdStream. You can see how it's spelled there. It's a single word. And yeah, basically you can just look through all of the reports that have been disclosed on the Bugcrowd platform and get a bunch of ideas. I've noticed that like the Bugcrowd one's got hardly any bugs that have been disclosed. There's only 3 pages. There's about 20 on each page. So that's kind of annoying, but you know, the ones that are there, you can get a lot of knowledge from. So it's definitely worth just going to bugcrowd.com/crowdstream and having a good look through what's there. The next thing that I'm going to show you is kind of another list of lists, but I put it in this section because it links to a bunch of write-ups. So look at this, all the way back to 2012, you can see a stack of bug bounty write-ups. Now, if you're looking for inspiration, this is like such a great place to be. It's just a table of all these different bug bounty write-ups. Look, I'll start scrolling through it just to give you an idea of how many there are. And this is just for 2021. Absolutely crazy. And now we're back at 2020, December. They're all ordered by date. Just so many bug bounty write-ups. So we'll just pick this random one. Exploiting JWT, lack of signature verification that resulted in an account takeover. Just so good that someone's indexed all these. So yeah, thank you so much, Pentester Land. I'd recommend checking this out for sure. On this website too, there's a whole bunch of other things. They do a podcast as well. But if you go to pentester.land and just click on list of bug bounty write-ups, you can get probably thousands, probably in the thousands, I reckon, of bug bounty write-ups here. So no shortage of ideas. All right, the next blog that we're going to look at is Inti's blog. And it's a Medium blog. And I've just gotten so much value out of this. Inti is the head of hackers at Intigriti. You can also find him on Twitter as Secjuice or IntiDC. He has 2 different Twitter accounts. I'm not exactly sure why, but yeah, follow both of them, I guess. And on Medium, you can see that he's just posted all of these awesome write-ups, these bug bounty write-ups. He has this knack for finding these like critical systemic bugs that affect a lot of organizations, like, you know, service desks being exposed, and that kind of exploded during COVID-19 because suddenly organizations needed to expose these service desks to the internet. But yeah, all of these write-ups are definitely worth a read, and I would definitely recommend just going through every single blog post that is written on this blog, because you'll get a lot out of it in terms of different ways to think of bugs, different methods for exploiting organizations and things. I'm just a big fan of the way that this guy thinks for in terms of hacking. I'd also recommend checking out Donut's blog, D0NUT. And this is just a total mixed bag, all kinds of different blogs. And he's a huge fan of the Rust programming language, and so he writes a lot about that, but also about all kinds of different things. This is kind of probably more of an advanced blog, but worth reading through it. It doesn't matter if you don't understand everything. You probably still get a lot out of it, even if you don't fully understand it. You just understand some of the concepts. And speaking of before, when we were looking at Inti's personal blog, Intigriti actually has their own publication. So Intigriti is a bug bounty platform, and this publication publishes all of Inti's write-ups, but they also publish some other stuff, including this one from someone called Johan, and someone here called Dan Willie, and all these different people. But definitely worth checking this out. You can follow on Medium. If you've got a Medium account, you can follow different publications. So whenever a new blog gets released on the publication, you get notified, which is really cool. The next resource we're going to look at is a resource, another publication called Secjuice. I don't think it uses Medium, but not that matters. It's just a website, but Secjuice is a not-for-profit publication, and they post all kinds of different articles about cybersecurity, including like CTF write-ups, tutorials, methodologies. You can see a few of them here. I love the artworks that they use on all of the different posts. They are so cool. Totally unrelated to the article, but yeah, I'd come here just to look at the artworks that they use. They're really kind of trippy. And yeah, so they've basically got this community of writers that writes for this publication for free, I think. And yeah, there's some really good stuff to know here if you just kind of read through and click on any that take your fancy or look like they might be useful to you, and yeah, read them. You can also follow them too. Just as kind of a joke, I included also Tomnomnom's blog, because I kind of stumbled across it the other day, and it's really funny. Despite being absolutely prolific in the hacking / bug bounty creator space, Tomnomnom has only written 3 blogs since 2010, and 2 of them are about food. And the other one is actually not about hacking so much as that is about debugging code. But some of the stuff that's on Tomnomnom's website actually got recommended to me a lot, and there are gems in this "Here are my old posts" link. So if you click on this link here, there are heaps and heaps of old blog posts that you can go through. Some of them are about hacking, some of them are about all kinds of other different things. So yeah, definitely worth reading through it. And Tomnomnom is a great person also to follow on GitHub. because he creates all of these really great tools. And you know, something I say is, before you write your own tool, make sure you check out Tomnomnom's repository to see if he's already written it, because he probably has. And I've done that a few times now where I've custom written my own tool, and then someone says, oh, this looks like, you know, this other tool that Tomnomnom's already written. And sure enough, it is. I just didn't know it existed. So yeah, definitely worth following him on GitHub. And I'm allowed to recommend myself, right? I have my own website, my own blog at hackluke.com. And if you click on blog up the top, you get a bunch of different blog posts. I tend to go through all different things, but you know, some of the things I do are tutorials, or how to set up, you know, bug bounty scanning infrastructure, how to find cross-site scripting vulnerabilities, how to find all different other types of vulnerabilities, and all kinds of different like mindset things as well. So yeah, if that sounds like your thing, go over to hackluke.com and /blog. I also keep an email list, so if you want to be notified when I post new content, then you can just pop your email in there and I'll send you an email. By the way, I do that really infrequently, just in case you're afraid of getting spammed. There are some other really high quality blogs as well. Just the content in them is kind of more advanced, and this is supposed to be a video more about beginner bug bounty hunting. But like I was trying to say before, you know, reading advanced stuff, even if you're a beginner, doesn't mean that you're not learning anything. Just because you don't fully understand everything that's being talked about, it doesn't mean that you're learning absolutely nothing. You know, you might read a blog about some complicated iOS hacking technique, and it goes through like a setup process and then talks about the bug, and you might understand 10% of it, but that 10% is crucial knowledge. You might just find out that, oh, you can jailbreak iPhones by doing this, and like that might be really useful knowledge to you later down the track. So yeah, I'd recommend just like giving everything a go. Anyway, Detectify Labs is a security research blog. They do all kinds of really, really cool security research, and they do excellent write-ups about them. And I think they're written by all different people, but I think they're all Detectify staff. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But yeah, awesome blog. And I'd recommend basically going through it. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, take a look. A similar blog that publishes all kinds of really great research is the Portswigger research blog. And you can get to that by going to portswigger.com/research. And this is it. So these are all the research that they've done recently. DEF CON is on at the moment, so of course Albino Wax just released this crazy research on HTTP2, where he kind of found these different ways in which HTTP2 has been implemented that basically have huge security implications for a lot of different organizations. So yeah, you can check that out here, along with a whole bunch of other security research, which is really, really cool. Another similar blog again is the Bishop Fox Labs. It's another blog. More than blog posts, they release tools, but yeah, you can check out all this kind of stuff. They do lots of different research. They're a huge pen testing firm. I think they're in the US, and yeah, obviously as part of being a huge pen testing firm, they've got the budget to do really awesome security research and publish it. So yeah, amazing. Okay, that's it for blogs. Next, I wanted to cover different Discords and forums that you can get involved with. The first one is the BugCrowd community Discord. I'm going to switch back to just my face. I don't really want to log into my Discord on the screen, because I'm also in a lot of private Discords that I don't really want to reveal. But yeah, there's heaps of different Discords that are available for anyone to join. I'll read them out, but if you want links, like invite links to them, you can click on the attached blog post in the description, and you can just click through them and join all of them, or whichever ones you're interested in. The first one is the Bug Crowd Community Discord. Huge, lots and lots of bug bounty hunters there. And really, you know, if you ever answer a question, someone will be there to answer it for you, which is really cool. There's also a TryHackMe Discord, which is obviously more about the TryHackMe platform that we went through earlier. The Cyber Mentor has their own Discord. There's an OXOOSec forum and Discord. If you don't know of the forum, actually, I can definitely show that on my screen. I'll just get it up. Let's have a look. So it's 0x00sec.org. And yeah, they have this forum. I think it's Discourse. And it's really quite active for a forum. Like, I don't see many forums today that are super active, but this one really, really is. And on top of this forum, they also have a Discord. So you can join the Discord if you want kind of more of a live chat experience. InsiderPhD has her own Discord, which is great. You get notifications of, you know, released videos, and also, you know, InsiderPhD hangs out there, and you can ask questions to other community members. Same with Nahamsec. He's got a huge Discord community as well, and yeah, you can go there and kind of like hang out with other hackers and ask questions and find people to collaborate with and chat about whatever you want. And the last Discord that I'm going to list is the HackTheBox Discord, which is obviously has a strong lilt towards the HackTheBox challenges and training and stuff like that. But yeah, huge community there, like absolutely massive community. I'm sure I've missed a whole bunch of other Discords. I hang out on Discord a bit, but I tend to stay away from those really large communities on Discord, just because I just find that, you know, I can spend a lot of time there, and I try to put more time into doing other things. But when I started learning hacking, I was more involved with those kind of chat groups and on IRC as well. And I learned a lot there, and I felt like a lot of them were safe places to ask any stupid questions that I had about things, or to help me out on different CTF challenges or whatever it might be. So yeah, really cool place to hang out. That's about it. That's about all I have for you today. Please note that despite this being like a super long video, this is really only a small taster of the resources that are available out there for learning hacking. But we need to stop somewhere, and I can't list every single thing that's out there. But this will give you a really good starting point. Like, you will never get through all of that content that we just talked about. But it will be an excellent way for you to start on your journey, just to pick some of those things that may have stood out to you today. And all I can say now is good luck and happy hacking, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.